I deeply appreciate your steadfast support for Chester County agriculture. I look forward to seeing you at the Chester Delaware County Farm Bureau dinner in a couple weeks. Your steadfast support for Octorara School District and all their efforts, I really appreciate that. I'd like to focus my comments and my questions on mushrooms. As you know, Pennsylvania is a nationwide leader in mushroom production. Chester County is really the leader in the state. Well over half of all the mushrooms grown in the state are grown in Chester County. And the economic impact of mushrooms is measured in the billions. And their mushroom farmers are paying tens of millions of dollars in taxes to the Commonwealth every year. With that being said, mushroom farmers are facing real challenges. Number of mushroom farms in Chester County has dropped from 61 to 47 in the last 5 years, largely through consolidation. And there continues to be a significant need for farm labor. I've had several folks tell me that the industry in Chester County is short over 600 positions. And I realize the solution to the labor issue is really more of a federal issue than a state issue. But what I'd like to really focus on specifically is some of the grant funding that PDA has made available to the industry over the years. The growers I speak with are very grateful for this. They're grateful for the marketing grants. They feel like that makes a big difference in boosting demand and the value of mushrooms. PDA has also provided, very important funding for research at Penn State, between Penn State and the industry, to combat phorid flies, these mushroom flies, which are a major nuisance and a real quality of life issue for folks that live near mushroom facilities. As you know, the EPA banned the only pesticide that was effective in really knocking down the flies. So I feel like PDA's funding for Penn State's research on this topic is really the only way we're going to find a solution. So I guess my question is PDA prepared to continue this grant funding in the current year?
Yeah, so we, in the current year for 18-19, we funded the phorid fly research. I think it's like at $90,000. So, yes.
That's great to hear.
Okay.
Also, as we're talking about grant funding, we have a very large supply of spent mushroom substrate, or SMS. It's the soil left over after growing mushrooms. And kind of a long-term priority of the industry has been kind of coming up with a solution to the real problem of what we do with all of the spent substrate. Could you comment on what PDA's willingness would be to assist with research to use spent substrate for soil reclamation projects or other uses across the state or even the country?
Yeah, thank you. That's been a topic of discussion for some years about what to do with the spent mushroom. We have funded projects for mine reclamation. We've funded projects, pilot projects with PennDOT to do the median strip uses. We've looked at it for, potting soil. I mean, the list goes on and on. But to answer your question, I think if there's something that we can do, that the industry would like us to consider, from a research standpoint or just an advocacy standpoint, I'd love to help. I know it's a current issue. We've just sort of exhausted what we can do with the, in the current uses. But if there's something more we need to talk about, I'm open to that conversation.